5 days. Scouts report Hannibal 5 days south. 45,000 infantry, 10,000 cavalry, 80 elephants. Rome's response? 80,000 men, 16 legions. Largest army the Republic has ever assembled. They'll meet at Cannae on the Apulian plain. 5 days to forge, repair, sharpen, and distribute weapons for 80,000 men marching to the largest battle of the ancient world. Herennius works before dawn. Forge fire, bellows driven, charcoal, white glow throwing shadows. Iron billets heating, black to red to orange to pale yellow white. 1,000 degrees Fahrenheit, hot enough to shape, hot enough to kill if it slips from the tongs. He is Samnite. His grandfather fought Rome in the Social War. Allied Italians demanding citizenship at sword point. The Samnites lost. Citizenship came anyway, a generation later, when Rome decided that soldiers who fought like Romans might as well be Romans. If the engineering behind the weapon that made Roman legions unstoppable fascinates you, subscribe now. The secret this Samnite smith carries in his hands rewrote the rules of ancient warfare. Herennius, inheritor of that compromise, Roman citizen, Samnite hands, Faber Pilarius, Legio II. He makes the weapon defining Roman infantry, the pilum, the heavy javelin thrown in the final 30 yards before sword contact.
The iron comes from Elba. Low phosphorus, consistent carbon. I need iron that's soft, softer than sword grade. The pilum shank must bend on impact. Hard iron bounces. Soft iron bends. This is the secret.
The pilum's engineering is counterintuitive. Every other weapon is designed hard. Gladius equals tempered steel. Shield boss equals wrought iron. Helmet equals hardened bronze. The pilum is designed soft. The point is hardened, must penetrate. But the 18-inch shank between point and shaft equals deliberately left soft. The reason? Soft shank bends on impact. Point penetrates the shield. Shank follows through and bends under the weapon's weight. The bent pilum hangs from the shield like an iron pendulum. Shield useless. Drop it or fight encumbered. A weapon designed to miss the man and ruin his shield. Not a killing weapon, a disabling weapon. The pilum strips protection in 30 seconds before gladii come out. By close combat, the front rank is shieldless. 7 feet total, taller than the man who throws it. Upper half, iron. Lower half, ash wood. Junction, flat tang inserted into a split shaft end secured with 2 iron rivets. The 18-inch shank equals the critical component. 1/2 inch diameter, soft iron. Heavy enough to carry momentum through a shield, soft enough to bend after penetration. Long enough that the bend occurs behind the shield surface.
Shank thickness is critical. Too thick, doesn't bend. Pilum bounces off or sticks straight. Enemy pulls it out and throws it back. Too thin, bends during the throw. Tumbles, misses. 1/2 inch, exactly.
Weight. Iron half equals approximately 4 pounds. Ash shaft equals approximately 2 pounds. Total, 6 pounds. Center of gravity forward of junction. Forward weighting. Thrown overhand, heavy iron pulls the weapon into descending curve. Point drops at 30 to 45 degrees. Steep angle matters. Flat impact leads to glances off. The pilum, arcing downward, strikes at 35 to 45 degrees. Point drives through instead of sliding across. Shank follows. The bend occurs. Herennius's modification, the detail making his pila most requested, is Samnite, not Roman. His people threw javelins before Rome existed. The tradition? A 2-ounce lead weight wrapped at the ironwood junction. Shift center of gravity 8 inches forward to deeper arc, steeper impact, more penetration. The outsider's advantage. Knowledge the Roman bureaucracy has lost. The pre-adoption tradition. He doesn't advertise. He adds the lead, stamps the pilum, sends to stores. The weapon performs 10% better. The paperwork doesn't reflect the reason. A training ground, 500 yards east. Flat Apulian clay, baked hard. Distance lines at 30, 40, 50, 60 paces. Straw targets with captured enemy shields at the 30-pace line. Gaius draws 2 pila from stores. Tests weight, 6 pounds. Balances a junction. Iron tipping forward, wood rising. The forward weight feels natural. Cord wrap grip sits in his palm.
First pilum at 40 paces. Overhand. Aim for the shield center. The point does the rest.
The throw. Gaius pulls back. Shaft past right ear, 6 pounds on the shoulder. Steps. Left foot, body rotating from hip, arm accelerating. Release. Fingers open at the highest point. The pilum arcs. 6 pounds airborne. Heavy front pulling into a descending curve. Point dropping at 35 degrees. 1.5 seconds of flight. Impact. Point strikes a captured Gallic shield. Limewood plus hide. Punches through. Hardened pyramid pierces wood. Shank follows. Weapon hangs. Soft shank bending under its own weight. Shaft dragging the shield edge toward ground. Gaius walks to the target. Pilum embedded. Point through the back. Shank bent 30 degrees. Weapon hanging like a pendulum. He grips and pulls. The shank stretches. Soft iron deforming further. Barbed point catches the back surface. Locked.
I think it's ready. By the gods.
When an outsider's secret modification makes weapons fly 10% steeper without anyone asking why, that's the kind of craft that doesn't appear in military histories. Subscribe. The morning before Cannae reveals the rest. Herennius watches from the edge. Smiths don't train with soldiers, but he comes every morning. Each throw equals data. Arc, impact angle, bend. He watches like a parent. Pride, anxiety, performance beyond his control. He notices Gaius's throw. Steeper than average. Impact at 40 degrees. His pila, the Samnite lead weight. Modified weapons fly differently. Gaius doesn't know why his pilum outperformed his tent mates. Herennius knows. 2 ounces of lead and a tradition older than Rome. August 2nd, 216 BC. Dawn. 80,000 men forming for march, south Picani. Each legionary, 2 pila, gladius, pugio, scutum, helmet, body armor. Herennius at the forge. Cold. Fire out, tools racked, iron depleted. Last pilum yesterday evening. 300 pila in 5 days. Forearms swollen, hands blackened. Weapons distributed. Work done. The column passes. Century after century. Hobnailed sandals on packed earth. Pilum shafts rising above helmets. Iron points catching dawn light. Gaius passes. 5th century, 3rd cohort. Pila on right shoulder. Shaft across the back, points up. He doesn't look at the forge. Doesn't see Herennius. The smith is invisible. Camp infrastructure, like the latrine or grain store. Necessary. Unnoticed. Outside the line.
300 weapons. 150 men will throw them today. Each throw, 2 seconds. 300 seconds of flight, 5 minutes total. 5 minutes is what 5 days of forging is worth. After that, the pila are in the ground, or shields, or bent beyond use.
The Samnite watching Romans march with Samnite weapons renamed by bureaucracy. The outsider whose craft is inside every legionary's right hand. The man between identities. Samnite blood, Roman citizenship. The hybrid empires produce without acknowledging. Cannae will destroy these legions. Hannibal's double envelopment will surround 80,000 and kill 40,000 in an afternoon. The pila will fly, 20,000 weighted javelins arcing toward the Carthaginian line, and they will hit shields, bend iron, strip protection. The weapon will perform. The weapon always performs. It doesn't know who throws it, doesn't know the battle will be lost. The soft iron bends, the shield drops. Physics works whether the battle is won or lost. The outsider's clarity. The weapon is not Roman. It's Samnite. Adopted, refined, standardized, forgotten. The naming changed. The craft didn't. Every pilum carries the Samnite tradition, even if no one remembers. After Cannae, Rome rebuilds. 16 new legions, new equipment, new pila. The forges restart. The outsiders, Samnites, Etruscans, Greeks, will build again. Because the craft doesn't belong to the name on the weapon. It belongs to the hands that make it. Herennius sits at his cold forge. 300 pila, 5 minutes of flight, one morning before the worst day in Roman history. And the weapon, the Samnite weapon, the outsider's gift, flies true regardless. The craft is the craft, and it doesn't ask who you are before it works.